by the way of big revelations coming from the Indian Air Force's chief. Now, in a major strategic revelation, Indian Air Force's Air Chief, for the first time has disclosed details of the damages inflicted to its Pakistani counterpart. Air Force Air Chief Marshal Amar Singh announced on 9th of August that during Operation Sindoor in May, India successfully shot down 5 Pakistani fighter jets and a large surveillance aircraft. Now, Air Chief Marshal addressed the end of Operation Sindoor during a lecture in Bengaluru. He described it as one of the longest ever surface-to-air kill achieved at an astonishing distance of 300 kilometers. Among the aircraft which were shot down, 5 were fighter jets and 1 was an AWACS, or the Airborne Warning and Control System. This claim signifies a pivotal display of advanced air defences capability of India, particularly the role of the S-400 air defence system, lauded as a game changer by the Indian Air Force Chief. The operation was described as precise, strategically targeted and executed without operational constraints, highlighting India's ability to neutralize threats with accuracy and restraint shown like never before.
That is Shahbaz, their Jacobabad airfield, one of them, again, a major airfield that was attacked. And here there's an F-16 hangar, which you can see here. And here, this is the photograph again from open source, from one of their earlier picture of the same hangar. And here, that hangar, which is one half of the hangar is gone. And I'm sure there were some aircraft inside which have got damaged there. So if I can just sum it up, what we were able to get there at least 2 command and control centers in like Murid and Chaklala that I have shown you one of the pictures. At least 6 radars, some of them big, some of them small. 2 SAGW system that is in Lahore and Okara. Then, of course, runway at Sargodha and Rahimia Khan. 3 hangars that we attacked. One was, of course, Sukur, the UAV hangar, the Bholari hangar of AWNC, and Jacobabad, the F-16 hangar. And we have indication of at least 1 AWNC in that AWC hangar, and a few F-16s which were under maintenance there. Apart from these, the SAGW systems, mostly from, I'm talking about fighter aircraft, are from S-400. We have at least 5 fighters confirmed kills and 1 large aircraft, which could be either an Elint aircraft or an AWNC aircraft, which was taken out at a distance of about 300 kilometers. This is the actually largest ever recorded surface-to-air kill that we can talk about.
The Air Chief Marshal noted that the accuracy of the damage caused by the Indian attack was calculated through satellite images. The IAF chief said that they have confirmed intelligence of terrorists being killed in India's strikes. Now, that's what he said. Listen in to his exact reaction on the damage caused by the Indian airborne units.
Something similar. I have a slide on that. You see here, in Balakot also, we had similar, the pinpricks being seen from the satellite pictures. And here in this building also, we see a similar kind of impact point. And in Balakot, we could not get anything from inside, and it became a big issue, trying to tell our own people, unfortunately, our own people, as to what we have been able to achieve. We had intelligence of what has gone on inside. We had intelligence of, a human kind of intelligence, where we had very clear picture of inside in terms of there's been huge damage. There have been so many terrorists which have been neutralized. But we could not convince our own people that, look, we have achieved that. But this time, again, a thing like this would have given us the same problem. But we were lucky, and we got these videos on the open. This is the same building from inside. You see the amount of damage that it has created, because all these penetration weapons, the sound is from that video. So they cause this kind of damage. Whereas from outside, you get a feeling as if it's just a small hole. So I'm very happy that this time we were able to, take care of that ghost of Balakot, that we were able to tell the world what we have achieved.
And interestingly, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi had claimed in Lok Sabha earlier that the government had tied the hands of armed forces during Operation Sindoor. Now, to that claim, Air Chief Marshal has debunked it, saying that we had complete freedom and there were no restrictions.
If I can say, what were the reasons for success? One, which I can think of, is that there was political will. I'm being very, very candid here, very open here, because I hear various versions of it. I think if I tell you something, people will have to believe, because I was there listening to everybody, attending every meeting. There was very clear political will, very clear directions which were given to us, and there were no kind of restrictions which were put on it. Many people have spoken somewhere. Unfortunately, everybody is speaking about it. कि कुछ ना कुछ मैं बोल दूंगा इस बारे में. So there have been talks about, was there any restriction? Were you kept constrained? If there were any constraints, they were self-made. We, the forces, decided what will be our rules of engagement. We, the forces, decided what will be the escalation ladder that we want to ride on. We decided how we want to control the escalation. So I want to make it very clear. There were no, I repeat, no restrictions on us. Full freedom was given to us to plan and execute. I must say that, that our attacks have been calibrated because we wanted to be mature about it.
And the IAF leadership attributed the success to three key factors: clear political will, unambiguous operational directives, and zero constraints on execution. Air Chief said that some people close to him said, "Aur marna tha, but can we continue to be at war? The nation has taken a good decision." Well, joining us on the show on that very crucial statement and clarification for the very first time since Operation Sindoor is Major General Sanjay Soy. He's a strategy and defense expert. Also with us is Major General Sanjay Meston. He's also a defense and geopolitical expert, as well as Major General Sudhakarji, defense and strategic expert. Thank you very much, gentlemen, the three of you. It's a good day to have you all. I think today, I'll come to you first, Major General Soy. There is some sort of clarity coming in on what India achieved by the way of Operation Sindoor and debunking all those, factual errors and myths about 5 aircraft being down and 5 jets being down. If anything, I think today all those speculations have been laid to rest.
Absolutely, Shwetaji. Thank you so much for inviting. And I would say that I loved his briefing. I enjoyed listening to him. A very, very candid, deliberate, to the point briefing he did in a very professional manner. I mean, one thing I felt that when he brought out the reasons for the victory or reasons for success was the political will and a joint operations. Of course, the armed forces are always proactive, aggressive, offensive. We always think in a offensive manner. But it is the political which matters a lot, and the total freedom which was given. I think I remember that during that time also, when the operations were going on, the Prime Minister had mentioned that armed forces have been given full freedom of time and place to be selected and how this operation to be done. And that is what, as a soldier, I needed. I need that kind of clarity, that kind of free hand, because then only I can do my tactical plan, I can do my strategic plan, and how to do it, where to start, when is how the intelligence has built up, where enemy is least prepared, and that is a reason for success. That is very, very important to succeed in any operation. Second thing which I felt was the jointness in the operation, which I think it took some time. He brought out that the office of CDS was playing a major role, and that is where probably the success was there. And third was the calibrated attack, the pinpoint attack. We could destroy the capability of Pakistan to carry on operations further. The way we had carried out destructions on the airfield, and he brought out how the 5 aircrafts were down and how one AEW AWACS was down, which provides very important inputs to all the aircrafts in that area. at the extreme range of 300 kilometers, which is a sort of record. So all these things brought Pakistan to its knees, and they asked for ceasefire. Again, it was our wish because our objective was achieved. That is what he brought out very clearly, that when to stop the war. Because ultimately, one point I liked about the whole thing was I fully endorse that while starting the operation, we should know what is the end state, how to force enemy to come to the knees, ask for ceasefire or stop the war. Otherwise, it can carry on. It could linger on for years. We have seen
One statement of his,
Russia-Ukraine
Major
war. We have
General
seen.
Soy, that really augured well with me and I think with the rest of the country as well, is when he said that if there was one constraint holding us back, it was our ability on to what extent we wanted to strike and to what extent we wanted to continue the war. Major General Sanjay Meston, how does the downing of an AWAC at 30-kilometer range put us in the air defense system in Southeast Asia? Where does the balance lie? At this point, I think it's clear. It's clearly in India's favor.
Yeah, Shweta, absolutely. The integrated air command and control system, which was set up, I think it was excellent coordination between the three services, and apparently this was being coordinated under the jurisdiction and the directions of the CDS. So this was one of the most effective things, and right from the lowest weapon, which I would say typically infantry used to have, the LMG in ACAC role, till the S-400 weapons, everything was layered in tiers, and therefore air defense systems were effectively organized. Now, what has this achieved? Exactly, this is what the Air Chief was stating, that with S and 400, we have been able to target up to a distance of 300 kilometers, which actually is a really record. And that is something which has struck the enemy, and that too the airborne warning early control system. That is what is one of the best things, the AWACS. And I think we have had a strategic effect on that. In this warfare, firstly, it was a non-contact warfare. That must be understood. And number two, we were targeting the strategic depths. And mind you, we have gone up to maximum depths. Even the Kinara, hills were attacked where the nuclear sites and all are there. So what this reveals is that in this kind of non-contact warfare, the end state achieved was very, very clear. And since we were talking about this political direction, see, let me be very clear. Political, there are two setups. One is the political and one is the military.
Right.
The political setup always gives some directions or objectives. In this case, the objective was stated by the Prime Minister very clear, that we will strike at the terrorists and the perpetrators of the terrorism. That was very, very clear intent. Intent was given out. Now, how does it translate on ground? That is up to the armed forces, and this is exactly what the full freedom and laxity was given to the armed forces.
Right.
There is no interference, there is nothing. They can do whatever they want to at their time, own choosing, the kind of resources they want to utilize. And
Absolutely.
mind you, a point which was also made by General Sanjay Soy, that see, end state has to be kept in mind. If you do not have end state, the war carries on, and thereafter it gets struck. You look at Israel, Hamas, Russia, Ukraine, it is just continuing endless. And today no one knows how to finish the war, including the countries which had prosecuted the wars, whether it is Israel or whether it is the Russians. So therefore, this is what exactly we have to be very, very clear. The intent has to be clear, and with the intent, the end state, and therefore we are very clear. Have we achieved that? The answer is yes. Pakistan will think 10 times before executing or planning any terrorist operations inside
Absolutely.
India.